in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Cleveland Browns. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. That's fielded in the end zone. And now running right through it. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given.
Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10 at their own 46. Shotgun now for Breeze. Forced out to his left. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Only a yard that time, second and goal. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, second and goal. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. But now it's third and goal. How about this Browns defense they've held so far? This is now third and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Punching it in from a yard away. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Football going back to the Cleveland Browns here. I want to step back and just look at where they are on their season. We mentioned earlier that they're 4-6 now after a 2-game winning streak. And despite the controversy in Week 11 that we all know about, look, they're 2-0 against AFC North opponents. Could they? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
On third down, Mayfield. Pass complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. Well, they do get 5 there, but it's not enough. And it'll be fourth down. They're indeed going. It's Mayfield, and it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. They go play action here on first down. Flush to his right. Now he'll pull it down. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. 25 yards to the house. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kiko Alonso leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mayfield, he's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. He gets it complete to Harris. A very solid gain of 27. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And again, it's Mayfield. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. A 5-yard touchdown catch as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, Charles, you said it after the 4th down stop. That's almost guaranteed points the other way, and that comes to fruition with a touchdown.
Well, the unnecessary risk did come back to haunt them, didn't it? End up getting those points that I predicted that they were going to give up because it's guaranteed points if you don't make that play.
So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. CD, I want to ask you about the NFC South as the Saints come back out onto the field here.
Okay.
You know, they're 8-2, and that win against Tampa 34-17 in Week 11 just furthered their advantage in the division. They've now got a 3-game lead over Carolina. Is this one all but over?
I think so. But going into the season, didn't we think this would be one of the most competitive divisions in the league? Because I thought Atlanta would press New Orleans first. Carolina, you know, is always good. Tampa was an unknown. But how about this? 3 of the next 4 at home for this New Orleans Saints team. Carolina comes to town, and then they get a revenge game. Because remember, Atlanta jumped them a couple weeks ago in New Orleans. That's on Thanksgiving night in Atlanta. And then at home for a monster game against San Francisco and another one against Indianapolis.
7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out. The Browns drive about to get started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do. Oh, Chubb fumbled it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. On 4th down, they snap it to Mayfield. Escaping the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's A.J. Klein, the linebacker. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
You got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Speaking of Michael Thomas, 94 catches on the year through Week 11. He's the first receiver ever. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Alvin Kamara on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. To throw, Mayfield. Eluding the pressure. The Browns are in. Touchdown. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it in the end zone. Bit of a surprising call here, down by as many as they are, but the fake works, and they'll get 2 points closer instead of 1. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Pretty move. He gets away from 1. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. To throw again on second down. Breeze flushed out. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Joe Schobert, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone, a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Browns drive about to get started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And Owen coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Saints. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Mike, you ready? Mike. So don't say nothing.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The final shot before half for Breeze. And Thomas has it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. So it's halftime here. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing now is Breeze. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll be taken down at the 26. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Here's Breeze.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Third and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. On third down, here's Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, 29 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield, and he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Mayfield now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield now. It's caught by OBJ. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Going to the air again with Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mayfield tosses one complete to Landry. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eli Apple. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
5-9.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready? 53 at the mark. Come on, come on. Good on.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Fights through, and now a crease. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mayfield looks to throw, escaping the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Throwing, Mayfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Eli Apple, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Joe Schobert able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack on 1st down, Breeze. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. He finds his target, Beckham. The 40. Past the 20. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 71 yards. And the Browns able to get this one back to within at least some measure of respectability. The electric OBJ, the short reception, and then he did the rest of the work himself.
You know, there's a thing that the players always talk about, the coaches in the league, they call it play speed. Because, you know, we have that time speed when we're running the 40s at the combine and, you know, at pro days and all of that. But play speed is different. And OBJ's play speed is some of the best in the league. In other words, when he has the ball in his hands or he's running a route, he runs it just a little bit harder than most people. And oftentimes, you come up wrong on your angles trying to tackle him.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
Keep playing hard. Ready.
So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Brees to throw. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. A breakaway from Michael Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, 59 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. But yes, Michael Thomas is a volume receiver, but he can also make some really big plays, especially with Drew Brees throwing the football.
I love the way you described it. Volume receiver who could also make big plays. In other words, if you underestimate him, he'll run past you or he'll just jump over the top of you and continue to make those big plays.
And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's what really becomes fun.
And my goodness, another interception. P.J. Williams with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now Kamara. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Again, it's Kamara. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Now Brees on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. And that will be incomplete. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. The Saints on 4th down last year, 13 of 16, 2nd best in the league, and they'll try it here. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and this Browns defense stands tall. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Breeze going to sneak it. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Second and goal from the 1. Keeper, it's Breeze. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided? Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offenses have success. You could say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is Cook with a grab. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, and go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And he is going to be taken down inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Mayfield to throw it, and he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Breeze is looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So after the sack here, 2nd and 14. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.